My name is Lila, and I am a little fox with soft orange fur, white paws, and a fluffy tail that curls around me like a warm blanket when I sleep. I live in a cozy den beneath the roots of an old oak tree, deep in a gentle forest where birds sing in the mornings and flowers sway in the breeze during the day. In the daytime, I love everything. I love running through the tall grass while sunlight dances around me. I love chasing falling leaves. I love listening to bees hum near the clover. I love watching clouds float across the sky like sleepy sheep. During the day, the forest feels bright and friendly. But when evening comes, something changes inside me. As the golden sun begins to sink behind the trees, the light grows softer and softer. Shadows stretch across the ground. The birds grow quiet. The sky turns blue, then purple, then dark. And every time that happens, my heart begins to beat a little faster, because I am afraid of the dark. When night comes, I hurry back into my den. I curl into a tiny ball. I tuck my nose under my tail. I listen to every little sound outside and wonder what might be there. Sometimes the wind rustles the leaves. Sometimes a branch creaks. Sometimes an owl calls softly in the distance, and each sound makes my ears stand up straight. What if something is hiding out there? I whisper to myself. My mama always hears me. She comes close and gently brushes my fur with her nose. "Sweet Lila," she says softly, "the night is not hiding anything. It is only wrapping the world in rest." I want to believe her, but when I look outside and see the dark forest, I still feel small and unsure. One evening, after the stars had begun to appear, Mama smiled at me and said, "Tonight, little one, I have something to show you." I blinked. "At night?" I asked. "At night," she said kindly. I looked out of the den. The forest was dim and quiet. My paws wanted to stay tucked inside. But Mama's eyes were calm and warm, and I trusted her. So I took one tiny step out of the den, then another, then another. The ground felt cool beneath my paws. The evening air smelled like pine needles, moss, and fresh earth. I stayed very close to Mama as we walked along the path. The shadows still looked large to me. But Mama walked slowly, as if there were nothing at all to fear. We came to a little clearing where the grass was soft and silver in the moonlight. "Look up," Mama whispered. I lifted my eyes. Above me, the sky was filled with stars. So many stars. Tiny glowing lights shimmered across the dark sky like scattered drops of silver paint. I gasped softly. "They were always there," Mama said. "You simply could not see them in the daytime." I stared and stared. The darkness around the stars did not seem empty anymore. It seemed gentle. It was the quiet space where the stars could shine. We sat down together in the grass. The moon hung above us like a round lantern, glowing softly over the trees. Its light touched the leaves and branches and turned them pale silver. The forest looked different at night, not frightening, just peaceful. "Close your eyes for a moment," Mama said. I hesitated, then I closed them. "Now listen," she whispered. At first, I heard only silence. But slowly, I began to notice many little sounds hidden inside the quiet. The breeze moving through the branches, the soft chirping of crickets, leaves whispering together, a stream bubbling somewhere far away, the gentle hoot of an owl. The night was not empty at all. It was full of soft sounds, It was singing in a quieter voice. "Do you hear it?" Mama asked. I nodded. "The forest has a daytime song," she said, "and a nighttime song." I smiled a tiny smile. I had never thought of it that way. We stayed there for a while, listening. My breathing slowed. My shoulders relaxed. The tight feeling in my chest began to melt away. Then we walked farther down the path. I usually never went far at night, but with Mama beside me, I felt brave enough for a few more steps. Soon we reached the pond. In the daytime, the pond sparkled in the sunlight, but at night it was even more beautiful. The moon floated on the water like a silver boat. Stars shimmered in the ripples. The reeds swayed gently along the edge. I stared at the pond in wonder. "It looks like the sky fell down," I whispered. Mama laughed softly. "It does." I sat by the water and watched the moon tremble in the tiny waves. The dark water no longer looked mysterious. It looked calm. Everything around me felt calm, even my own heartbeat. Then I noticed tiny flickers in the grass nearby, one light, then another, then another. "Mama," I whispered. "What are those?" "Fireflies," she said. Little glowing insects drifted through the clearing like floating stars. They blinked on and off, slowly and gently. I ran a few careful steps after them, then stopped and watched them twinkle around me. I giggled. The dark had hidden this beautiful surprise from me all along. I had always hurried indoors before seeing it. A firefly landed on a blade of grass near my paw and glowed like a tiny lamp. "Hello," I whispered. Mama smiled. "You see, Lila, night has gifts too." We made our way back home slowly. This time, I looked around instead of staring only at the ground. I noticed how the moonlight painted silver lines across the path. I noticed how the shadows were soft and still. I noticed how the trees stood like quiet guardians around our den. Nothing chased me. Nothing frightened me. The night was simply being night. When we reached home, Mama tucked me into my bed of moss and dry leaves. I curled beneath my tail. But tonight, I did not hide my face. I looked out through the entrance of the den. The stars blinked softly above the trees. I took one slow breath in, then one slow breath out. The dark was still there, but now it felt different. It felt gentle. It felt like a blanket laid over the forest so every creature could rest. I closed my eyes. Then suddenly I heard a tiny creak outside. My eyes opened wide again. "Mama," I whispered. She lifted her head sleepily. "What is it, little one?" I heard something. Mama listened for a moment. Then she smiled. "That is only the branch above our den swaying in the breeze." I listened again. Creak, sway, creak. Now that I knew what it was, the sound seemed small and harmless. "Oh," I said. Mama kissed the top of my head. Sometimes sounds feel larger when we do not know them. I thought about that. Maybe the dark had felt larger too, simply because I did not know it. I rested my head again. A few moments later, I heard the owl call. "Huo, huo," this time I smiled. "Good night, owl," I whispered. Then the crickets sang their tiny song. "Good night, crickets." The breeze sighed through the leaves. "Good night, wind." The stars glimmered above. "Good night, stars." The moon glowed softly over our tree. "Good night, moon." My eyelids grew heavy. My paws felt warm. My tail wrapped around me like a cloud. And inside my heart, where fear used to sit, something new was growing. Trust, peace, soft courage. I understood now that darkness is not a monster. It is not something that sneaks or hides. Darkness is simply the world resting. It is the sky making room for stars. It is the pond holding moonlight. It is the air carrying cricket songs. It is the quiet time between busy days. And I can rest in it too. I took one last slow breath. In gently, out slowly. Mama's breathing beside me was calm and steady. The forest outside hummed its nighttime lullaby. And as the stars watched over our little den, I drifted softly into sleep. Safe, warm, peaceful. Held by the kind and gentle night.